Aita for refusing to be my sister's bridesmaid after she told me I'd ruined the photos. I, 26F, was excited when my older sister Lena, 30F, asked me to be a bridesmaid. We aren't super close, but I thought this was a way of including me. That excitement lasted exactly 1 week. First, she told me I had to lose weight before the wedding because she wanted a uniform look. I brushed it off as stress talking. Then she sent the bridesmaids a group message saying, "Please don't change your hair drastically. I want soft, feminine styles only. I have short hair. I've had short hair for 10 years. I messaged her privately asking if that was a problem. She replied, well, short hair might look a bit harsh in photos. Maybe a wig. I told her I wasn't wearing a wig. She said, I just don't want you to stand out in a bad way. That hurt more than I expected. I told her if my appearance was such an issue, I'd rather attend as a guest. She accused me of being dramatic and said I was sabotaging her wedding. Our mom says I should suck it up for one day. Aita, update. Lena removed me from the bridesmaid group chat. Later that day, she sent me a long message saying, I was making her wedding about me. I was insecure and projecting. Everyone else was being cooperative. I replied calmly that I wasn't comfortable changing my body or wearing a wig to fit her aesthetic. She responded, so you admit you care more about your hair than my happiness. Update 2. My aunt called me to say Lena was crying nonstop and saying I abandoned her. I asked if Lena had told her why I stepped down. Apparently not. When I explained, my aunt went quiet and said, oh, she didn't mention the wig. Update 3. The wedding happened last weekend. I attended as a guest. 3 different bridesmaids complained to me about being told to redo their makeup, being scolded for gaining weight, being repositioned constantly for photos. One of them whispered, you were smart to back out. I don't feel guilty anymore. Story 2 Aita for telling my friend I won't help her anymore after she treated me like a personal assistant. I, 24F, met my friend Kara, 25F, in university. She's charismatic, ambitious, and always overwhelmed. At first, helping her felt normal. I proofread her essays, helped her move apartments, covered small expenses when she was short. She always said she'd pay me back. She rarely did. After graduation, Kara started a small business. She asked if I could help out occasionally. That turned into answering emails, scheduling appointments, running errands, managing social media, for free. When I brought up payment, she said, I thought you supported my dreams. Last month, I asked her to help me move. She said she was too busy. That's when it clicked. Update. I told Kara I couldn't help with her business anymore unless we discussed boundaries and compensation. She laughed and said, wow, I didn't realize you were keeping score. I said it wasn't about scorekeeping, it was about respect. She left me on read. Update 2. She posted a vague Instagram story about fake friends who disappear when you're building something. Mutual friends started asking if we were fighting. Kara told one of them that I abandoned her when she needed me most. I finally told the truth. Update 3. 3 other people reached out privately to say Kara had done the same thing to them. One said, she only keeps you around if you're useful. That hurt, but also validated everything. Final update. It's been 6 months. Kara's business failed. She messaged me last week. I miss how close we were. I didn't reply. I miss who I thought she was, not who she showed me she was. Story 3 Aita for refusing to let my parents move into my house after they gave my room to my brother growing up. I, 31F, bought my first house 2 years ago. It's nothing fancy, but it's mine, and I worked extremely hard for it. Growing up, I shared a room with my younger sister until I was 15. When my brother Mark, now 29M, was born, my parents converted the spare room into his nursery. Fair enough. Except, when Mark was 6, they gave him my room because he needed more space, and I was moved into the converted laundry room. No door, no privacy. I stayed there until I moved out at 18. Mark kept the room. Fast forward to now. My parents are retiring and want to sell their house. They asked if they could move in with me temporarily while they figure things out. I said no. They were shocked. I explained that I value my space and that living with them again would be extremely stressful. They said, "But we're family." I said, "So was I when I slept next to the washing machine." Now they are saying I'm punishing them for the past and being ungrateful. Aita, Update 1. My parents told Mark about my refusal. Mark texted me, "You owe them. They sacrificed everything for you." I replied, "They sacrificed my space for you." He didn't respond. Update 2. My mom showed up unannounced at my house crying. She said they never realized how much the laundry room hurt me. I asked why they never fixed it once Mark was older. She said, "Well, you were easier." That sentence broke something in me. Update 3. My dad called and said they could move in only 6 months. I asked where they'd sleep. He said, "We assumed you'd give us your room." I actually laughed, and said absolutely not. Update 4. Extended family got involved. An aunt said, "You have the room. Why not help your parents?" I told her I had the room because I bought the room. She stopped messaging me. Update 5. Mark offered a solution. I let our parents move in with me, and he visits often to help. I asked why they couldn't move in with him. He said, "Well, my place is too small." So was the laundry room. Final update. My parents moved in with Mark. They lasted 3 months before moving into a retirement complex. They barely speak to me now. I feel sad, but not guilty. Aita for telling my best friend I won't babysit anymore after she left a child with me without asking. I, 28F, have been best friends with Elise, 29F, since high school. She had a baby last year. I was happy for her and offered help occasionally. That turned into, "Can you watch him for an hour?" 5 hours. "I'll be right back." No response for half the day. Dropping him off with no supplies. The first time she left without asking, I was shocked. She said, "I knew you wouldn't say no." I told her not to do it again. She apologized. She did it again. Update 1. Last month, she showed up at my door with a baby in a diaper bag, said, "I'm late," and left. I tried calling her. No answer. She came back 6 hours later. I was furious. She laughed and said, "See? You survived." Update 2. I told her I would not babysit anymore unless we planned it in advance. She cried and said I was abandoning her during postpartum. I offered to help her find childcare resources. She said, "That's not the same." Update 3. She left the baby with me again. This time, I called her immediately and said if she didn't come back, I would call her partner and then child services. She came back furious and called me cool. Update 4. She told mutual friends I threatened her with CPS. They started distancing themselves from me. I sent screenshots of my unanswered calls. Silence. Update 5. Her partner contacted me privately. He apologized and said he had no idea how often this was happening. They are now in couples counseling. Final update. Elise and I are no longer friends. I miss her, but I don't miss being treated like free labor. The baby is safe and cared for. That's what matters.